Hi, good morning. So today we are with Cody Wood. He's the Chief Operating Officer of STR Accommodations, providing short-term rental services across the US. So welcome, Cody.
Thanks for having me.
Pleasure. So tell us a little bit more about your company, what services, who your clients are.
Yeah, so currently STR Accommodations offers multiple services, our main service being a property management for short-term rental properties. The other services that we've kind of tacked on as of late has been some tech support for other smaller operators where we've extended our team to kind of help them get operational. And then we do a coaching, we coach smaller operators on what to look for, what to do. And then the final thing that we've been doing is property analysis. So we've actually been analyzing properties from start to finish if they're going to be a good investment for homeowners and investors to actually invest their money into. So those are kind of our main services and what we tend to offer.
Brilliant. And leading on from that, how did you actually get started personally in this industry?
Sure. So I actually started with what we called house hacking with my own property, where I was actually renting out a spare guest bedroom in my own house. Basically, I was really wanting to change the asset of my property from a liability to an asset. And so quickly that was easy to cover the mortgage. So I opened up my second guest room and was renting them out together. And basically I partnered up with a guy who's now the business partner in STR Accommodations. And we basically exploded. He brought 75 properties in that he currently was managing with very little technology or operations or systems. And he was always on the phone. He was going crazy. I stepped in, we started putting stuff together. Basically within 8 months, we had grown to over 157 properties. And we realized quickly we had some things going good, some things weren't. And we kind of dialed it back, kind of hovered around 60 properties. And, we were making the same amount of money we've realized at 157. And we realized, quantity doesn't always equal profitability. And so it's really finding the right properties to work with, right homeowners, the right investors, and really investing our time and energies to make their properties the best.
What brought you first into contact with Superhog, and which are the features that you're actually using in your business?
Yeah, so I think we heard Leo back in the day on Clubhouse talking, and I can't even tell you what exactly it was, but it spurred us to get on a call with Leo. And I started doing a lot more deeper dive into Superhog and what the services they offered. Here's where I saw the best benefit was that I could actually go from the platforms and have the same type of policy that the platforms were offering us and the homeowners and build in that confidence level when I started building out a direct booking side of my business. Because now I had that same ability to say, hey, I've also got this and I have a really great support team to back me up. And so this is going to make this a lot easier to transition people away from the platforms and more into the direct booking side of the house. And that's where I really pursued Superhog for that reason.
What exactly are the features of Superhog that you're using?
We're using the damage waiver and the guest screening both together. It's the easiest for the direct booking side. It's now all interlinked through our PMS, and we've actually forced several PMSs as we transitioned over the last few years. We said we'll only transition to you as long as you have an API connection to Superhog, just because that was something that was very important to our business and actually one of our sales points and pitches that when we talk to homeowners or investors that, hey, we have this insurance policy that we bring along with us for every reservation with the exception of certain platforms that it's just not needed.
In terms of the actual pain points that cause you to need these kind of products, were there specific issues that led you to be researching or looking for this kind of product?
So we always have damages with our short-term rental properties. It's just the nature of the business. It's going to happen. One of the things that we were looking for early on was just to make sure that, it wasn't coming out of our pocket or the homeowners if we could help it. And we wanted to really make sure that the guest took care of the properties because that's at the end of the day, that's our goal is to make sure that the guest is taking care of the property properly and not causing a lot of damage. We've done the Airbnb claim process. It's a little bit more difficult, but we do tell people we have a 96% success rate with Airbnb claims because we've learned to document this, the same documentation that we worked with Superhog with in the past, where you guys are, hey, get this type of information from the guest. And because of that, whenever we have a claim with Airbnb, you kind of forced us to be better, which is great because you taught us really kind of what to look for and what not to do. And at the same time, we wanted to have that whole mindset of being a hospitality company. I don't want to be an insurance adjuster or someone who's chasing the guest for money. me. And it's so nice that we can actually partner with Superhog and you guys will handle that back end. Whereas if we're doing it, it's like, well, we're supposed to be the company that's supposed to be hospitable. If I'm chasing you down for money, I'm no longer hospitable. And that's just, it's not exciting for me. And it's a waste of our business because really we're trying to get the guest in, have a great experience, get them out. And, we really don't want them stressing about, oh, you ruined the towels kind of deal. And it's like, that's kind of the operations of the business is the way I look at it. We go and try to nickel and dime every little piece. But like if, example, we had an issue where a guest actually shot fireworks off last July at one of our properties and they actually burnt down the garage because they caught the trash can on fire. Thankfully, we knew how to document everything and we basically got that approved through one of the OTAs and insurances. And so that's where we would rather talk with someone like Superhog, partner with you guys, because, when we have international travelers coming into our properties, I am definitely having them go through the background check because you guys have so much more information than a lot of these platforms because y'all have so many guests coming through y'all system. If y'all give me the green light, they're going to get in. If I get, they're not approved, sorry, I can't accept you. And that's just one of those things where you guys are kind of giving me that vote of confidence, and my homeowners feel confident that I'm working with as well. I just kind of went the opposite direction, said I'm a hospitality company. I want to be as transparent as possible with my guests that when they encounter our brand, they feel like, oh, wow, these guys are trying to take care of me from start to finish.
And what about saving time? Do you find that it's saving you time? How much can you quantify it somehow?
Yeah, I think it's quantifiable. It's very easy to quantify because before in the past, we actually, when we first started with Superhog, we didn't have a direct connection with our PMS. The thing that I liked about the new way we work with Superhog is that you guys being directly connected, there's really no need to have that extra level of screening that I need, really, because I just need, really the insurance policy, that coverage there, and then basically just making sure that from what y'all's records show, hey, these guys are good, then I'm not having to build a blacklist myself of bad guests. You guys already know that, and y'all don't have to reveal anything to me. You just tell me, hey, the guest isn't accepted. And that builds so much more confidence with me versus me having to recreate a whole new list of bad actors. Like, that guest can't come back. It's quite literally completely different now. It's like, hey, you guys have already been through it. You know who the bad actors are. You're going to tell me before they ever get to my property. And then the other side of this is my team is not having to stress like going through and checking the metrics and making sure it's quite literally green or red, good or bad. And that's super simple. And, and it tells us because you guys send out obviously email notifications, tells us in the PMS, and we're good to go. So it's a lot faster. It's very seamless. And we can also tell when the guest hasn't done their part because, obviously we see it's pending or the guest hasn't done their part to get registered. And it takes a lot of the pressure off of us. We're like, hey, no, this is just something that's required that we have, and it's really easy. I think it takes a max time of like 10-15 minutes for the guest to kind of go through everything start to finish. So it's really not a huge inconvenience for them. Whereas some of the other ways that we were doing it prior, it could take 30 minutes because they're trying to read all this stuff and it's just really stressful for them. Whereas now we're like, hey, we like this more seamless, very easy check-in process for the guest where they're not stressing, they're not upset, they're not worried, and we're here supporting them.
A lot that you've shared and great advice all around. So thank you very much for your time.